Hey baseball fans, welcome to another installment of Talkin Rangers Baseball. I'm Hondo. We're going to be joined in a couple of minutes by Boppy from Modesto via the telephone. And remember, we're brought to you by sportswagers-selections.com. For the best sports wagers, for the best sports information about wagering out there on the internet, log in to sportswagers-selections.com 24 hours a day and you'll get the best information around. Boppy, welcome from Modesto. And how are you tonight?
It's great. What a great baseball season. What a surprising baseball season. And what a good time to be a baseball fan.
Yeah, it really is. And as we do this segment right here, we're a little bit, I'd say 8 or 9 games below the midway point of the season, about 2 weeks away from the All-Star break. And we're going to talk about the MVP candidates in both leagues in this 10-minute segment. And let's start with the National League first, Boppy. Looking at the races, looking at the first half stars, who are you looking at as the MVP candidates from the senior circuit?
I'll tell you who's having a great year, but who will never get it because of his team just has died, and that's Corey Hart. Corey Hart is just one of the best players in baseball now, and he's got no support, and there's no pitching there in Milwaukee anymore. So I look at there. The other place I'd say I like Adrian Gonzalez. What a turnaround by the Padres. They catch the ball now. They pitch the ball. They've got one legitimate all-star hitter, and the rest of the time they're doing it with mirrors.
Yeah. We both saw Corey Hart in spring training when we were in Arizona together, and he looked lost. He looked like somebody who has just turned into a 6'6" or 6'7" singles hitter. I have to disagree, though. I don't think you can get, even if he hadn't slumped recently and seen his average dip to the 260s, I don't think you can give the MVP to a guy on a team that's 14 games or 15 games under 500.
Well, I would agree with that. I think his team would have to come back.
Unless you're a Cecil Fielder with a 50 homer season like the year he won the MVP award.
Or Ernie Banks with 47 home runs and 150 RBIs.
Right, and you got to hit for a higher average. But I agree with you on Adrian Gonzalez. Here's a man who is just, we know that the Padres don't score many runs to begin with, and here's a guy who's carrying that offense with very little protection around him. And they're in first place, 12 games over 500. Arguably the surprise team of all of baseball this year. I don't think anyone gave the Padres a snowball's chance in Hades of contending this year, and yet Bud Black's got them on top. And to me, if the season ended today, Adrian Gonzalez is the National League MVP.
I couldn't argue with that. I do like Andre Ethier in the Dodgers. We'll see how things turn out for the Dodgers as the year goes on. And I also like Chase Utley, but Utley's fallen off a little bit this year without Jimmy Rollins, and so the Phillies. What are they now in third place?
Right, they're still right there in the mix with the Mets and the Braves, but that NL East race is going to be a dogfight the second half. And you and I both know, Boppy, that doesn't matter who's the leading candidate for MVP now. It's who has the strongest second half and who has the biggest input in their team's strong second half of the season.
So I will just as a little bonus here. I'm going to tell you that my pick for the outstanding pitching performance of the year goes to Ubaldo Jimenez on the Colorado Rockies. I cannot imagine anyone having a stronger first half than Jimenez. Unbelievable first half.
Yeah, he really has. He's 13-1 with a 1.17 or 8 ERA before last night. It went up, of course, because I think he gave up like 6 runs, and it was his first bad start of the year. And for a guy who I think made his 15th start, and that's his first bad start in 15 starts, that's pretty remarkable for that kind of a performance. Let's switch over to the American League. How about who's your MVP candidates in that league?
Well, I'm biased for one of the players that I've liked since he was with the Cincinnati Reds, but he has surprised me with just how good he is, because he surprises me every day because he's even getting better. and that's Josh Hamilton.
Well, you won't get any argument from me. I think hands down he's not only the AL MVP at the midpoint of the season, but the Major League Player of the Year. What he's done this last month to catapult the Rangers into an 18-4 record for June is nothing short of remarkable. And as good as he was 2 years ago, Boppy, he's even better this year.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? I mean, we all, stood there slack-jawed at what he did at Yankee Stadium, but now he's turned the American League into his own personal home run tour. He's hit 8 home runs in a month, and he looks like one of the best hitters I've ever seen, even against left-handers now. He is just scorching the ball.
Right, and he looks confident up there. And now, when he goes up to bat in a key situation, you have a strong feeling that he's going to deliver in that situation, which we didn't have earlier.
You only wish that he could have met Ted Williams, and Ted Williams could have talked to him for about 2 hours.
Right. Well, there's a lot of hitters that Ted Williams could have had a huge impact on if they'd been able to gain some of his insight. Boppy, just talking a little bit more about Josh Hamilton and in that Ranger lineup, I think we both agree that in any other year, Vlad Guerrero, who's come over from the Angels, would be a strong candidate for MVP. And if Nelson Cruz had been able to avoid 2 stints on the DL, I mean, you're looking at a 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the lineup. I don't think there's a better 4, 5, and 6 hitters in baseball than Guerrero, Hamilton, and Cruz.
I think that they're a lot like the lineup that the Red Sox used to have when they had Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz and whoever else that they had, John Drew, whoever they had.
Michael Lowell part of the time, or yeah, I agree.
It's just a remarkable lineup, and they were to the point where you just couldn't pitch past anyone. And can you imagine coming up now, and if you try to get the ball past, Vlad Guerrero, then you've got to face Josh Hamilton. You go, well, there's no way I'm going to walk him. Then you come up against Nelly Cruz. I mean, it's an impossible situation.
Right.
If the Rangers were to either pick up a first baseman, or if they get Justin Smoke or Chris Davis to play to their maximum potential for the second half of this season, it could be an historic year in baseball for the Rangers and for the American League.
Well, I don't think you're going to get a Smoke or a Davis playing to their maximum potential because they're still young, Boppy. I don't think all of a sudden you're going to see, I mean, you didn't see some other great players play at their maximum potential their first year. But increased production, I would agree with you that hitting out of that 7th spot would be huge. Hey, I want to ask you really quick, because I know it's a hot-button topic right now. Steven Strasburg, does he deserve to be on the National League All-Star team?
On the All-Star team, I would hope that the body of work from the beginning of the year till now, that you would do that. And I think the guy's only had 4 starts. That's really, then you're just reacting to the publicity and not the game. I mean, Washington was the team that kept him down on the farm for 2 whole months just so they could keep him for an extra season. So it's their fault.
Right. I would agree with you. I don't think
doesn't make an All-Star.
I don't think he deserves to be on the All-Star team. Certainly, if he had been up from the beginning of the year, he probably most likely would be a strong candidate for the All-Star team.
He's going to have 7 starts. He should have 7 starts before the All-Star game gets here.
Right.
If he's equally good in all 3 of those, if there's an opening on the team, I can see the manager putting him there and giving him an inning.
Well, it's the fans' game. If the fans want to see him, the fans should have the opportunity to see him. But I think he should go for the internet vote at the end when the fans can pick 1 extra player from the AL and 1 extra. And I think Bud Selig should make him one of the choices in the NL, and then the fans will have a huge say in it.
That would be fine with me, but I just don't think you take, you know.
Right. No, I agree, Boppy. I agree. Hey, it's been great talking to you, Boppy. You take care. Fans, you take care. We'll talk to you again on Talkin' Rangers Baseball.